and I'll never back down. In the middle of the ring is where I lay the smack down. Against all odds, I will always prevail. So when you step to me, it's like hell in a cell.
Greetings and salutations, this is Christopher Daniels. I'm talking to my main man Delzinski right now. Any video game show, any video game channel, any YouTube channel called Vintage Shizzle is indeed hashtag Daniels approved.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here. It's We Talk Wednesday, we're back, and I am joined by the champion of Night of Champions. It is Weeds. How you doing, mate?
I'm well, mate, but there is no way I am challenging Brock Lesnar to anything, let alone a wrestling match.
Well, he was pretty destructive again on Raw, but John Cena fighting back this time round.
We had a bit of a go, didn't he? Got caught him from behind.
That's how Cena rolls, isn't it?
Hustle, loyalty, and yeah, we'll say respect.
Well, it looks like it might be a closer contest this time. So, I mean, this week we're going to be talking, obviously, Night of Champions. So we're going to be having our Night of Champions predictions. And as well, we're going to have a Raw roundup because, you know, we all love your 60-second Raw roundup.
At some point, it will last 60 seconds.
Well, it's pretty close last week.
It's as close as it's going to get, really, isn't it?
Well, you say that, but it could be 60 seconds this week.
I will try my very best.
Excellent, excellent. So, are we going to kick off with the 60 seconds?
No mucking around this week, is there? Straight into it.
Well, I hope you're prepared.
Of course.
you don't really sound very confident. Of course.
Do I not?
No, not at all.
I'm ready.
Okay. Right, let's just get the old stopwatch ready. Wow, we really are steamrolling in. Right.
Nervous now.
Got the stopwatch on. Okay. Do you remember the rules?
Yeah, I do by now, hopefully.
What exactly would you like this week? Would you like a Bagwell approved or a Daniels approved?
Let's go for a Bagwell approved.
Okay. So, counting you in 3, 2, 1, go!
Cena and Heyman open Raw again this week. Heyman still running scared of John Cena, as most people seem to be since he has gone beast mode. A great match opened up Raw, I thought, with Jericho and Kane. A bit of a throwback to an Attitude match there, which got reminded of a hot coffee incident, which I think kicked off their first feud about 10 years ago. Of course, WWE must listen to our We Talk every week because Orton had to justify whilst he was actually angry with Jericho last week. But Michael Cole still had to throw in a little anecdote about a feud from 6 years ago when he tried to kick him in the head. Please lose the Divas segment. It's really starting to get wearing now. There was a nice 6-man tag setting up what should be a great match between Cesaro and Sheamus. And we got a free pay-per-view match 6 days before the pay-per-view with Rollins and Reigns. Very odd.
Wow.
How'd I do?
Did you mention Lesnar and Cena?
Yeah, no. I know we're going to cover that in great detail anyway.
That is the best. That is the best roundup you've ever done.
Thanks.
59.39. You had time.
To go, Lesnar Cena.
Yeah.
I panicked. Obviously, we are going to cover Lesnar and Cena, I'm assuming. It wasn't on the detail.
No, it wasn't on the agenda. It was on the Raw Roundup, which you've not remembered.
Well, yeah, it must have been a really forgettable moment.
Well, that is something. I have to admit. It was to be fair to you, Weeds, it was the wrong way round this week because the Lesnar segment was at the beginning of the show and the show closed with Rusev. Did you mention Rusev and Mark Henry as well?
No, because the Henry and Rusev thing, it's already getting a little bit. Come on, we know Mark Henry's going to give it his best go, don't we? But ultimately, I just think we're waiting for Kurt Angle to rock up probably later on and finally hand Rusev a loss.
Oh, this is the best week ever.
Well on my game this week.
Right. Whew.
What did you make of the Cena Lesnar? Obviously, I didn't want to cover it in any great detail. So I found that. What did you make of it?
I actually thought it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed that segment. Bit annoying about the whole tune in at half time, because it was Vince McMahon's idea, wasn't it, to have it at the start of the show, so that basically they could build towards when I think the NFL was on halftime, and that would be the segment when Lesnar and Cena kicked off. Yeah, okay, for the ratings, but
it just happened to be there was a cracking NFL match on the same night. So
yeah, I don't like that when they do that. That's as cheap as doing the $9.99 thing. And did you know that they are actually confiscating signs that are being held up that have got $9.99 written on them?
Why, are they going to put the price up, or?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, well, there's only one reason for that, isn't there? So yeah, I actually thought the segment was really good. I did enjoy the segment between Lesnar, Heyman, and Cena. I thought the brawl was done really well. I loved the fact that when Lesnar hit the ring, at first you thought, oh, okay, Cena's going to have the upper hand, and then boom, another German suplex really kind of established that Lesnar, again, is still powerful and more stronger than Cena. But then Cena got a little bit back into it.
Did he break his nose? Because they seem to have mentioned that he may have broken his nose about 15 times.
I don't know.
Work.
Yeah, you know, I thought the segment was good. Also, I don't know if you saw it, Weeds. Did you see the promo from Lesnar where he actually spoke with Michael Cole about? I don't know if it was on Raw actually.
Was it day after? I haven't actually seen it in full.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, no mistakes from Lesnar. I mean, it was
Must have been pre-recorded then.
I think it definitely was. I mean, maybe we should start pre-recording and get your 60 seconds right as well.
No, I'll have another bash next week. You know I will.
Will you now? But yeah,
feedback well approved.
Of course. Yeah, Lesnar's promo is pretty good, and considering it's a guy that usually struggles, it's really. You remember when they were saying that Brock Lesnar a while back was going to bring back legitimacy to the WWE? It's like that feeling again, and it's just the best bit was. He may have messed this up, but it actually sounded pretty good. He said, "Eat, sleep, kick ass, and repeat." And I'm pretty sure he was meant to say conquer, but he went with kick ass, and he just what he said. He said he's an ass kicker. He keeps saying that, and he's proving it. And
they've been talking about arse a lot, haven't they? These two.
I don't know. I haven't had my ears open that much to the word arse.
Well, that's what John Cena said. He wanted to take his arse out.
Yeah.
Some kind of funky date going on there.
I quite liked it all, to be honest. I think it's building up to. I think Night of Champions is looking pretty good.
It is. It's stacked the card, isn't it? But what I was going to say with Cena, what did you make of the shoving down of Heyman, of Cena finally biting?
I thought Paul Heyman rolled out the ring fantastically well.
Rolled in it quite well as well.
Yeah, I don't think it means anything.
But they tease, because they keep teasing this, and they've obviously had Cena going back and forward, and he's just, hit me, Cena, hit me. So when he finally hit, I thought it was quite clever that they actually chose that moment when he shoved him down where he could potentially go either way, even though we know he's not going that way. And then Lesnar's music hit. So we never know, because I do like that kind of concept, the whole way this match has been built. You've got to unleash the beast inside Cena. I think the build for the match has been fantastic.
Yeah, and I quite like the way that it's almost like the tables in reverse, because usually you would see like the heel, picking on the smaller guy, like so with Heyman, like the tables have been reversed, and usually when the music hits, it's usually the face that comes out and interrupts, but this time around it's Lesnar coming out to almost as such. What makes it interesting for me is that when Lesnar comes out, I'm actually cheering for when he comes out.
I was going to say, is Lesnar actually going face without even meaning to go face?
I think he is, but he has no plans to be a face whatsoever. You can tell. It's just when he comes out, it's just
he doesn't want to be anything. He just hates everyone.
On that promo that he does with Michael Cole, that sit-down interview, he does say that he's a prize fighter and he's here to promote fights. That's all he's there for. He doesn't give a monkeys about John Cena's feelings, John Cena's passion, John Cena's pride. All he cares about is promoting this fight and coming out world champion. And that's what I like about the Lesnar bit. They have kind of taken that whole UFC that he's just there to fight. And that's it, and conquer.
And that's what I would congratulate the WWE with how they've actually built this up. Because it could potentially, if it could have been a slow match, what that one they had on the last pay-per-view, and we could just say, we don't want to see Cena Lesnar again. So I said, I've always thought this is John Cena's feud that he never had. And they've absolutely, for me, as I said, they need congratulating in the way they've built this up, because they've managed to build up for me a legitimate, I can't wait to watch this title fight. And they haven't had the champion there for 4 weeks. So I think that's absolutely brilliant, and a credit to John Cena and Paul Heyman and the promo work they've been putting in over the last few weeks. And Brock Lesnar when he's been pre-recorded.
Yeah. I still hope they get squashed at Night of Champions. But I'll say that in my prediction, which is not.
Well, we may have some slightly off-kilter predictions. I'm sure we may disagree on how that one's going to go.
No. So let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the card. Let's give our predictions of the event. So, I think we're both quite looking forward to Night of Champions, and I've got a list. I don't know if it's going to be in that order, but hopefully it'll be close enough. I don't know what the pre-show match is. Do you?
I saw something said they were going to do something with Christian. I know he's back, and they were doing some kind of talk with Jericho or something along those lines. But I haven't actually seen anything listed pre-match unless they've had something on main event. But to be honest, I've only caught Raw so far this week. Until they give us the bloody WWE network over here, which we're still waiting for. Not long though.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Hulk Hogan came over here when and said we were getting it?
May 20th, to be precise. He promised me my WWE network, which is yet to turn up.
Exactly. Let's kick off then. Let's kick off with the WWE Tag Team Championship. The Usos versus Goldust and Stardust. And Goldust and Stardust are now heels.
Yes, I must have blinked and missed this because it's I'm quite liking what they're doing still. Cody, I'm not calling him Stardust, is still a little bit too odd at times for me. Even Goldust looks at him and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" at times. For me, I see this is where the Usos are actually going to drop the belt.
Yes, and I think that has to happen. As much as I like the Usos, I've been waiting for them to sort of drop the belts because I think
we predicted it on everyone.
Yeah, but I think it's good for the tag team division if the belts get dropped and then we get a bit of a feud going on and we can have a few more tag teams in there. Rowan and Harper have been floating around for a long time and still not picked up the belts. I just think someone's got to pick up those titles because it's got kind of stale having the Usos with those belts. They're good in-ring competitors, but they haven't really lit it up in terms of having feuds. It's not like having the New Age Outlaws versus someone where you get that personality. The Usos don't go about their business in that way.
No, it's more about what they do in the ring. And I suppose it's like you were saying with the tag team division, they've lacked that credible team to go up against. And we were convinced it was going to be Rowan and Harper who would be taking the belts off them. So hopefully we're going to have three very different feeling teams in the mix here with the Usos, Gold and Stardust and Rowan and Harper. So hopefully we can get something going in the tag team division. Hopefully maybe with the Ascension coming up soon as well.
Yeah, and I think with Goldust and Stardust on screen time in terms of their camera work, their mic skills, that'll probably do the tag team belts a bit of give them a bit of a boost because I don't think they've had someone really with them. I've always felt that the Usos have just sort of, since they got aligned a little bit with Cena, that's where it all started going a bit wrong.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The other thing about the Usos, since they've had these belts, how many times have they had 6-man matches? And they've got another one on SmackDown again this week. And when I think we've spoken, I'm not going to sit here and bash the Divas division, but when you get some of the stuff that's been devoted to some of the other things on Raw, and as I always go on and harp on about that final hour where you've got the Usos who put on good matches, not necessarily going to have the best mic skills or but they put on great matches. And again, it was another great example on Raw this week in the 6-man, again, just to reiterate, 6-man tag team match that they were in, that it was high flying and it had the big spots towards the end. And I think it's a shame that their reign has kind of gone unnoticed as much as it has. And as I said, I think this will be the one where they drop it at the weekend, and then maybe we can get this feud going on and some other teams in the mix.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I am going to go with the same. I think that we're going to get new WWE Tag Team Champions, and it will be Goldust and Stardust.
What was the quote they had on this week? I think the King turned around and said, "Did he meow?" And JBL's like, "Yeah, I know what a cat is. He meowed." It's just random.
Now, I think what I'd like coming out of this as well, if they are going to, drop the belts, can they get rid of those goddamn awful tag team titles and replace them with some half decent belts, please?
Can we have the old ones back? Do you know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The ones that Heart Foundation had, Legion of Doom had, Demolition had. I loved those belts. They were the best tag belts. Because they brought the IC one back, so bring those back as well.
Yeah, I just think those current ones just do not match any of the other belts. They're hideous. I don't know who designed them. They're just nah. Ugh.
It's like something your mum would wear as a brooch.
It's a bit big, isn't it?
Obviously a little bit smaller. But thank you for pointing out the bloody obvious.
Right, okay, no props. Okay,
next match, please.
Yeah, okay. So the next one is what closed Monday Night Raw this week. Mark Henry versus Rusev.
He's had his moment in the spotlight, Mr. Henry. They were being mean to him on Raw, and I know I didn't cover it because I was so upset with how Lana was treating him. Obviously, Rusev doesn't really say a lot other than Putin. But I see this going Rusev again. I think Henry's had his moment to get his shots in. And I think we continue the Rusev bandwagon until a certain Kurt Angle, I'm predicting, may turn up in the WWE at some point soon.
Well, didn't you think that it was pretty awesome when he broke out the old camel clutch? He managed to sort of get up to his feet, and then he took him out. And then the best bits when he's waving the flag, I thought they were going to play, the American national anthem, the USA, but they didn't. They played his un-PG music, his 3-6 Mafia. Somebody go and get their ass whipped. What? That was just the best.
I thought they were going to play "Living in America" by James Brown from Rocky IV.
I've enjoyed the feuds that Rusev's had. I liked Jack Swagger, and I liked it transitioning into Mark Henry.
It's great.
Yeah,
but obviously,
I'm enjoying him gradually working his way through people, building more momentum. But I still think he just looks like a local kebabi, to be honest.
You see it's there and it's in front of my face, and I never put the two together. But don't you think Vince McMahon, his favourite film has got to be Rocky IV?
Why? Just because of the amount of references.
The amount of Russians he's tried to put through, from Ivan Koloff to Rusev, who I swear was a Bulgarian the day he turned up at Raw, and suddenly he's devoted. I don't remember Bulgaria having close affiliation with Russia previously. So yeah, I'm just convinced that either Vince loves Rocky IV or secretly wants to be Dolph Lundgren.
Possibly. I mean, he's definitely got the grapefruits for it. I mean, the whole Lana thing is based around that, isn't it? It's that the Sylvester Stallone's bit on the side for a good amount of years, wasn't it? What's her name?
Oh, someone's going to put it in there. I know she's blonde, and I can't remember.
She is Lana, because she used to do that crush him, and that's what she does. It's just it is that. That's what it was taken from. I'm sure.
But do you think she's starting to get a little bit bored with the accent now?
I just think
she slips in some kind of like colloquial Americanisms every now and then. They just she it just comes through, and then she goes to a word she knows, like truth or Putin, and then right, she's back on her Russian lingo again.
I think she's really good in terms of the way she does her promos. She's
Imagine if he had to talk.
If he was on his own, he wouldn't be half as over as what he is. He's not over, but you know what I mean. He's getting a good push, and I don't think if she was there, he would.
So we both on the Rusev bandwagon.
Yeah, but I would like Mark Henry to win this. I'm going to be cheering Mark Henry to win this because
you're just going to be cheering his theme song, and that's about it.
No, but it is pretty badass, isn't it? Let's be honest. In an era where we've got all this PG garbage, Mark Henry still stands and rises above it all by having that music where it's telling people that he's going to break people's necks, he's going to beat them up. You know.
There's a great. I know I always recommend the podcasts on here, and Jericho recently on one of his did his own kind of off the cuff with a cowbell version of Mark Henry's theme music to open one of his podcasts. It was absolutely brilliant. If you haven't listened to it, I think it's on one of the Batista ones. Make sure you have a listen.
I'm gonna have to try and hear that then, because
it was hilarious.
No, I just think I would like Mark Henry to have a good go at it. I don't think he's going to beat him, and I think Rusev will move on. But I disagree with you that Kurt Angle will be the one, because I've heard that I think it will be one John Cena who will be feuding with Rusev next. It
seems the natural place to send Cena. But I hope Kurt Angle comes back. I would love to see Kurt Angle have one final run in WWE.
So what you're trying to say to me here is it seems the natural place that it's time for someone to bury Rusev. Because whenever Cena gets partnered up with anybody that is on a bit of a run, it means that they will no longer be, utilised at all in the WWE after they've been destroyed by one Super Cena.
Bingo. And it's another way for us, obviously, to hate Super Cena, isn't it?
You like him. I don't.
I do like him. Leave him alone.
Okay.
I don't like bullies. Paul Heyman's a bully. He got sorted out.
He's an advocate. That's all he is.
He's an advocate. Right. He's a pain in the arse. He's very funny.
He's a delightful walrus. That's what he is.
A delightful walrus.
So we've gone with Rusev. Both going for Rusev. Happy with that?
Yeah, we're in complete agreement on the first 2 out of the 8 matches.
It's impressive. Okay, I might as well let you take over this one because you love the Divas section so much. Paige, the champion, AJ Lee, and Fearless Nikki. I hate saying that.
Fearless Nikki. I don't care. Just end it. I'm assuming Brie is going to get involved at some point and continue this tedium that is...
Brie mode?
Brie mode, which whatever random theme she had this week, I just please WWE, if you do listen, and you obviously do because you take note of you needed to add why Autumn was actually angry with Jericho last week. Please stop the Bellas feuding. Either just blow it off on a Raw match or main event or whatever show you feel the need to put it on. But can we just reach the end of it? Can they make up, be friends again or sisters? I don't want to watch it anymore.
They're going to hug it out like Bayley does. So,
how the match is going to go, I see Paige retaining, and I would like the weird shit to stop between her and AJ Lee as well. I do like Paige, and I think she's improving week upon week, but she doesn't need to skip around the ring like AJ Lee to do that. I think she's a great wrestler, and she can get over, and she is over without having the need to do that kind of random stuff. And I don't get. Do you understand this feud? Because I really don't get it.
They just want to be friends. But the belt
frenemies.
But the belt is separating them from their friendship, which is their ultimate goal.
So they're frenemies. It's just like Godfather Part 2, isn't it?
I don't know. Do you know what with the Divas division? The biggest issue is if you go and watch NXT TakeOver and then you watch Charlotte Flair versus Bayley, that's just like proper women's wrestling. It is just quality to watch. That was awesome. And then you come to this, and what you'll see here is you'll see Paige and AJ Lee go at it, and yeah, that would be quite good. But then you've got someone in there who doesn't have really very good wrestling skills, doesn't have very good mic ability. She's just where she is because she's a twin and she's, doing the dirty with John Cena.
Did they tried Bailey on Raw briefly, didn't they? I think I seem to remember her popping up there earlier on in the year. But yeah, I completely agree. Charlotte Flair, absolutely fantastic wrestler, absolutely natural one to go with Paige. But yeah, I just can't. The total divas interruption of Raw is getting to me to the point where to be honest, if I skied it or taped it, I'm skipping through that segment. I don't even bother with it most of the time, which is a stunning admission for someone who's meant to be doing the Raw recap, which might give a clue to why I miss the bit out every now and then.
You missed out the main bit.
No, I watched that. I was just so excited, and that was that. Yeah, but to be honest, I like what the matches are good, but I don't want to watch the segments. I was actually, my eyes started streaming when I had to be subjected to the Jerry Springer angle the week before.
You're not a huge Eva Marie fan like Revolution is, then, or Elle is, no?
Well, at least she just wrestles. She doesn't go in there for half an hour and just talk absolute crap and drag their brother out and their mum and their dad, who was like, couldn't work out that television had been invented or any of those. It's just, they've got Total Divas. I get this on the network. Just promote it during an ad break or something. We know Total Divas is out there. It's in its 3rd season. If I want to watch it, I'll watch it.
So who are you going to pick? Who's
Paige.
Going with Paige. I'm going to go
all day long.
I'm going to go with Nikki Bella.
Oh Christ!
What? I just got a feeling that could happen. And
you want to see more Nikki Bella on Raw?
No, I didn't say that. Wrong with you. I just have a feeling that she will win this match, and Brie will probably cost one of the other two by mistake.
Well, I'd love to see Paige. I mean, I don't know if you watched it. That I did actually watch the match after saying that I didn't, but Paige basically just kicked the shit out of Brie this week on Raw. So that would be an interesting feud to happen if Brie could actually get some kind of offense in next time against Paige. But yeah, I see Paige retaining.
Guess we're gonna have to disagree on that one then.
Yeah. Ooh. We've gone separate ways at match 3.
The only reason why I say it is it's just because it's just something that WWE would do.
Well, it would make sense considering how much they're bloody pushing them, isn't it?
And then the feud will be between Nikki and Brie going into a match at some point with the belt on the line.
That would be quality wrestling. Yeah, that would be top draw stuff.
Yeah, but that's when they should bring back the
street fights.
No, what? You chose that. No, they should bring back the classic, bra and panties and
bra and panties street fight. Yeah, totally agree.
Bring back all that kind of stuff. What is it? The mud one where the cat did all that stuff. That's awesome, wasn't it? Remember that?
Oh, I miss the Attitude Era.
Yes, everyone does.
I'm reminiscing now. I'm just staring off into space.
Come back.
I'm back in the room. Okay, so yeah, Paige. Good. Paige to your Nikki Bella.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice by me, isn't it? I'm even surprised I've said that. We'll live to regret that one. Comments box won't be filled with happiness. Okay, so the next one. Intercontinental Championship, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. And I've actually really enjoyed this feud. I love Damien Mizdow. That was pretty awesome.
What about, what was he called this week?
R. Ziggler. Oh, yeah. Bless R. Ziggler.
Yeah, we touched a couple of race issues on WWE because I swear JBL kept saying I can't tell them apart.
That was,
I was like, stop it. Don't do it, JBL. They take your cowboy hat away.
The commentary was just atrocious during that match. It was just like ridiculous. It was like, I can't tell which one it is. What? Are you serious? And why are you saying this? Do you want to get?
It was as bad as the King keeps saying that he can't wait for Slam City to be on later on the network. I know he's got to push it, but Jesus, he sounds like a 3-year-old child. I can't wait for home time.
He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get any of those heart problems again.
No, exactly. Because especially he said he wanted to take on Lana and Rusev as well. Well, Lana, I'd assume more than Rusev.
Of course, he's got a thing with the ladies, hasn't he?
He has indeed. But yeah, Ziggler Miz, it has been quite, it's been the kind of well, it's been a comic build up more than anything else. And I think it's great that they've actually given Mr. Sandow, who we are obviously big fans of, a role in this as well.
The best bit was them outside the ring. Did you see the ending of the match?
Yeah,
they're both laying on the mat. They're just laying on the outside, the exact same pose. I was just like, that is brilliant. I love Damien Sandow.
So how do you see this one going?
Because
I'm assuming Sandow's going to be involved in some way or other.
Dolph Ziggler will retain the belt.
You don't see him doing the doink swap?
No. If any,
because they look so much alike.
If any sort of swap's going on, it's obviously going to be with R. Ziggler and Dolph Ziggler because, you know, they are almost the same person.
They're just brothers from another mother. So who are you going with for this one?
I am going to go with Dolph Ziggler.
Ooh, I'm going to be contentious. I'm going to go Dolph Ziggler too.
Only because I think it would make his title reign a little bit pointless if he drops it to The Miz quite so quickly, and I think there's a lot more where this feud can go. So,
I completely agree. And again, this is something that you could potentially look to elevate Sandow up into the mix in this as well, and potentially having that fallout with The Miz, which would just be farcical when that happens. That is what I'm actually looking forward to when Sandow probably gets too big for his boots with The Miz.
Yeah, it's about time, and I think as well, if with Sandow, you know, getting him to that level in the Intercontinental Championship area, it's good for Sandow that they finally decided to recognise that, you know, he's a pretty good talent, and we've got to expect Wade Barrett to be floating around soon as well. So.
And I think Sandow's been punished enough with the pink trunks that he was forced to come into. I haven't seen anyone try and pull those off since the model Rick Martel. So yeah, let's start pushing Sandow up that roster.
Okay, so we're both going with Ziggler then.
But yeah, both going with Ziggler, but far more, both of us, more concerned talking about Sandow.
Yes. So at the moment, we only disagree on Nikki Bella and...
On top of the card, Divas match, of course, the one that everyone is waiting for with bated breath.
Yes. So next one, another championship match, United States Championship. Really looking forward to this one because I think we're going to crown a new United States champion, and his name is Cesaro.
See, this is where we're going to get quite boring because I completely agree. I think this is going to be heavy hitting. I think Sheamus has even taken the drastic steps of growing a beard for it, a full beard. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great match. I've liked the way they built it up with Cesaro kind of doing that I'm outthinking you the whole way through. Obviously, the only thing that did kill it ever so slightly was the Usos got the pin over Cesaro on Raw this week. But yeah, like you said, I think this is going to be one of the better matches on the Night of Champions card.
Yeah, I think this week on Raw they should have changed it a little bit. You know when the Usos are coming off that top rope, I think Cesaro should have caught him with that European uppercut and got the victory. It just would have made Cesaro go into that and go into the event. I know obviously the Usos are on the card, but you know, I don't think it damages them as much. With Cesaro, he could have done with that little bit of a push, that little bit of momentum going into the match where then he picks up the belt. I was kind of disappointed that they went with that finish, but I think that Cesaro's going to win this. I think that this feud's going to continue just like Ziggler and The Miz. And I like this feud because I know everyone says Sheamus is a bit boring, but I actually quite like his heavy-hitting style. And I think he puts on good matches when he's put in a position with someone who's just as physical in the terms of Cesaro.
And definitely. And I think that's the key thing for Cesaro as well. It feels like we're getting back to what he was before. I think in the lead up to No Way Out, where he was getting quite a substantial push, and I think we need to get back on that with Cesaro because he's been kind of treading water for the last few months, I suppose, since WrestleMania, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he went off the rails when he became that Paul Heyman guy.
He pissed someone off.
I don't know. I just paired him up with Paul Heyman. It was just a disaster from there. And I think it was. Let me just think who it was. I think it was Mufta. Everybody knows Mufta on YouTube. he said, what would you think of Cesaro being paired up with Lana? Because he put that on his Twitter, and I thought it was quite a good concept.
No, it would definitely be interesting. Kind of get a stable maybe going there with Rusev, and I'm sure there's probably more that you could add to it as well. Even if you start looking at the Radical turning Sheamus heel again, because they haven't flip-flopped with him enough already, have they? No, that is definitely one to ponder.
I thought it was a pretty good idea. I think again, where Heyman fell down being the mouthpiece, I don't think it would fall down having Lana as the mouthpiece for Cesaro. I think maybe because she's not with Heyman. It's all you just always go back to Lesnar, whereas her. I know you might say, "Oh, well, it's Rusev," but at the same time, they had that element with the Real Americans. That Coulter really did run that stable well, and I think she could do the same thing.
I mean, that's the only thing I would say at WWE is that they have missed a few opportunities, haven't they?
Yeah, with their stables, they've missed out big time. And their tag team division, Cesaro and Swagger, man, that was a tag team championship material there.
And it's like you say, I don't think they like the idea of stables, because I think in their head it probably promotes gangs, even though they had no problem with the Nation of Domination all those years ago and all those other ones. But yeah, I mean, Cesaro, the feud with Swagger never happened, really, did it?
No, so they just split them up for no reason.
And I think that would have been so hot, that match with the angle, considering how much, how well the We the People thing was going, and then to have it, and then the thing that killed it was Heyman, and the fact that they wanted him to talk about Lesnar all the time. So no, I hope. Well, I mean, I think Cesaro's going to go over this weekend, but I don't think it would overly hurt him in this angle if we even got like something like a no contest, and then we move on and do this again in a month's time.
Yeah, I want Cesaro to win.
I know you do.
So, yeah, okay, so are we both going Cesaro?
We're both going Cesaro.
Okay, next one, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
I have a question for you straight off, and this goes back to my Raw recap.
Oh, really?
When was the last time you remember a match that is going to be on a pay-per-view turning up on the Raw before they are due to have the pay-per-view? How random is that? And actually have someone go over with a clean victory.
It kind of defies the point. No, I did see this on TNA a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, well that is the kind of logic we may be talking about here. Not that I've watched TNA for a little while, so I'm not going to pass any kind of TNA comments.
Why not?
But it doesn't make sense, does it? If you're going to have the angle, and the only reason I can think that they've done this is, are we getting Dean Ambrose turn up at Night of Champions, do you think?
Maybe. But did you hear the little build on Raw where they were saying, Roman Reigns had done that in memory of his best buddy, Dean Ambrose, which could be leading towards that he's going to rock up and probably take them both out or something like that, I actually think Rollins is going to win this one, so...
Well, I hope so, because I was kind of thinking, there shouldn't have been a result for me on Raw. The amount of times the Authority and bloody Corporate Kane felt that they could stick their nose in, that it just didn't make any sense for me for Reigns to beat the Mr. Money in the Bank clean on Raw.
He should have just hit him with the briefcase or something like that and legged it, some sort of cheap heel tactic instead of losing the match. But again, that was a really good match. So if it's building to something...
It was great. I had no issue with watching that again and just let them have a little bit longer this time.
But I guess the only issue is you saw it, just a week before, which
it was pay-per-view standard, wasn't it?
And I think that's one of the things, we did just reference TNA, but it's something that we've always talked about. It's like a no-go. You have your big matches on your pay-per-views. You don't have them on your Raw shows because that's what they're for. They're for the promotion, the build-up to the pay-per-view, which is where you have that big match. And okay, I don't know, strange decision from WWE. Maybe it was because it had a lack of build-up, because it only really got going over the last few weeks.
But they've had a couple of those, haven't they? Obviously, with the Jericho and Orton one we're going to come on to. With this one, I see either Rollins winning or Ambrose getting involved, and then Reigns either intentionally or more likely for me unintentionally clocking Ambrose as he's trying to get his own back on Rollins, and then we're building to a three-way at some point, probably at the next pay-per-view, and then we've got. I mean, if it is those three building up to the next angle and they're all out for each other, that's going to be the best thing on the pay-per-view. The next one by a mile.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I think that would work. I'd like to see that as well, to be honest. I do think Seth Rollins should win this, and he will, but he may get himself DQ'd or something like that. So,
we're both going. Well, I'm going no contest then for this one.
I'm going Rollins. Rollins win.
Rollins win.
Okay, next one, another one like we just covered. Really didn't have much of a build-up. Just kind of happened because Randy Orton fancied it.
Obviously, a feud, 6 years, and a punt in the head in the making. Because I think they felt the need to tell us about the punt in the head, at least a dozen times on Raw, when they weren't telling us, obviously, that you can subscribe to the WWE Network.
$9.99.
$9.99.
But no signs. No signs.
It sounds like, from again listening to Jericho's podcast, and he has thrown the odd swerve in there before, but this is his last match that in the WWE for a while. It sounds like he's going on tour with Fozzy, which I'm disappointed about, because I don't know about you, because we're going in November, aren't we? And I was actually hoping that we might get Jericho on the UK tour for one final time. So again, I see him actually getting a little gift here, and Jericho being allowed to go over Randy Orton.
Yeah,
we got to keep him. We got to keep Jericho hot, because he is going to come back at some point. And obviously, I think the last time he was here for the Fandango feud, he became Mr. Experienced Jobber, didn't he? So I think if we can send him away in a good way, maybe work an angle with the knee getting a little bit messed up, maybe him beating Orton and then Orton taking out all these kind of frustrations after the match. But I'd like to see Jericho win, which is probably going to be his final WWE match for a little while. How do you see this one going? If I just swung you round to my way.
No.
So you're going Orton win, and I hate Randy Orton. So.
Why? I like your idea,
but he's the chosen one.
But I think that's how they'll write Jericho off TV, is having Orton take him out. So I think that it's a Randy Orton win, and Randy Orton then sending Jericho packing, just because he can. That's what he is. He's the legend killer. That's what he's always done. And I think that's how it works. I have to say, on your review, you said that the match between him, Jericho, and Kane was good. I was going to say that maybe showed Jericho as what he is, as an aging wrestler in that match, because being paired with someone like Kane, it was so slow.
But I liked it. It was back and forth. There was 2 counts. I don't know. Maybe it's different things, isn't it? I actually really got into that match. Really, really liked it.
I think pairing him up with someone like Kane, I think we'll get a much better match between Jericho and Orton. I've heard that they had a house show match and it was pretty awesome. But when Kane gets paired with people, I think he makes them look bad. And I think I thought Jericho brought the best.
Probably did that
because he probably did bring the breast out of Kane as well, because he's not in the shape that he used to be. Woo.
And I mean, they worked. There was a couple of ones where they had Jericho going for the lion salt, and he went from the lion salt into a half choke slam. Came out the back of that, went up for the tombstone. He missed moves. That he had a go at the walls of Jericho. It felt like an old kind of the kind of matches that you used to get. Every match used to be like this on Raw when you were watching. I'm going to start reminiscing again, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. So it just felt like it was a little throwback to the Attitude Era, that kind of match. We got a lot of close falls, and a lot of, it felt like it could be won at any point. So I suppose that's why I enjoyed it. It wasn't the pace of it so much, just the way they told the story.
So you liked it then?
I did like it. Yeah, I have my reasons. I'm not mad.
No, there were good spots. I just felt that it made Jericho look a bit slow.
I think for me, Jericho can work with anyone still, even at the ripe old age of 43.
Bless him. So you're going Jericho. I'm going Orton.
Yeah, but I have like a massive man crush on Chris Jericho. So yeah, that's probably I would never back him.
Why
I wouldn't.
Why don't you like Orton?
Because he's the chosen one.
He's quite. I like Orton. I don't get it. A lot of people dislike Randy Orton,
and
I like Randy Orton.
And he got Mr. Kennedy sacked, and
yeah, he did. But I like Randy Orton.
And he's always the first to throw his toys out the pram, and yeah, he's just he should be great, Randy Orton. He should be what John Cena actually is with the 15 time. And if you had Cena's attitude on Orton, you'd have the perfect wrestler.
Yeah, but if Orton was like Cena, then I wouldn't like him, would I?
Well, you might do.
No.
You don't know. I think you just really, really disliked John Cena because you secretly want to be him.
No comment. Okay, so we're going our separate ways on that one. Damn John Cena. So speaking of John Cena, main event time, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've missed any matches this time round, which is
no, we have them all.
Yes, brilliant. That's like a record.
Where's Bray Wyatt on the card?
I don't know. Where is Bray Wyatt?
Where's Bray Wyatt on the card? Where's Harper and Rowan on the card?
Chillaxing.
They are chillax. They're still back to Swampland.
They're still in their boat doing the WWE 2K15 promo trailer, which still hasn't been released yet. So that's where they are.
I can't believe they delayed the game on next gen.
Well, I don't mind it now, as long as it's a good game, and the reason for postponing it is to get it perfect. Then
this means I'm going to end up buying both.
Yeah, I'm going to end up buying both. So yeah, joy.
So Lesnar, Bork, and Mr. Hustle Loyalty, and get German suplexed Cena.
Yeah, first of all, got to say, love Brock Lesnar's t-shirt. It's absolutely awesome with the little sticker over it. It says John Cena. Yes, nice one, Brock. And I am just obviously going for Brock Lesnar to win this. I see no chance whatsoever of John Cena winning back the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If he does, it makes a mockery out of Brock Lesnar and trying to make someone look like a beast, which he is, and he will be, and he will keep going, and his title reign will go on to WrestleMania. Done.
So where does Lesnar go after this?
Big Show.
Oh my
God! Not my suggestion. That is apparently where he's going. If I was going to put him in,
what's he done wrong?
I don't know. You mentioned that WWE like to remind us of the past. Maybe they want to remind us of when Paul Heyman turned his back on Brock Lesnar and aligned himself with the Big Show.
Are we going to have the ring collapse again, or?
Probably have the Big Show collapse because he's not exactly in any great condition. If he takes one F5, that would be game over.
Oh, it's just such a shame that Guardians of the Galaxy was such a success, really, wasn't it? I wish we'd have Batista doing this right now.
Well, I think Batista should be his WrestleMania opponent.
It would be good, and again, it's something we haven't seen, and I'd quite like to see that. Not necessarily at WrestleMania though. But yeah, this match, I'm going back and forth. So
it's nothing like the match at SummerSlam then, if you're doing that.
No, this is this is the kind of way they built it again. I'm hoping we get more of a fight this time. We're obviously not going to get Extreme Rules because you're not allowed to bleed in the WWE anymore. But I would expect it to go more down that route. At the end of it, I, like you, agree that it doesn't really make a lot of sense for Brock Lesnar not to go over. But knowing the WWE and the way Vince, not Triple H, panics, I can see them potentially putting the title back on Cena because they do like to press they do press that panic button very quickly sometimes, don't they? However, in this instance, I am going to go for Brock Lesnar to retain in another not so dominating victory. I see Heyman getting involved in this one and trying to piss Cena off and I think they will unleash the beast inside Cena, but I don't think it will be enough to get past Lesnar.
What I'd really like to see in this match is to kickstart the match off is Lesnar come out being quite, aggressive and cocky again and wanting to do it, and he gets hit straight away with an attitude adjustment.
You know that is going to happen, don't you?
And I want Lesnar to just power out at one and just be like, like he did when he sat up. Just look at him like, nah, John, that's not going to work. And that's what I want to see. I want to see Lesnar be super aggressive still, but he can take moves like that. And for me, that is what that would work. And the only issue is, again, I'll go back to is yes, it's at Cena's detriment. It's at Cena's downfall. But look, let's just they did that at SummerSlam. They chose to bury Cena as much as they possibly could in the space of one match. And if you want Lesnar to continue that progress, that you want him to be the monster, then you keep on doing it. And you know what? The one thing that kind of hacked me off, and I think I said this on the last commentary, was that John Cena said in a reference that what happened to The Undertaker when he faced Brock Lesnar is that we don't see The Undertaker anymore. But with John Cena, we see him every week. Oh, come on.
I was going to say, with Cena, are we getting some change? I mean, I've mentioned this on the other commentaries as well, but do you think we are actually getting not a change so radical that it's going to be from face to heel, but are we getting a change of character here in Cena, or do you not see it?
I think once this feud's done, he'll be back to normal.
No, that's my worry, is that I think he will be exactly the same old John Cena once this is done. Personally, what I'd like to see Cena get involved with after this is maybe something with, like, if it's not going to be another Lesnar Cena. I know we've already spoken about Reigns, Rollins and Ambrose, but maybe get involved with one of those at some point, just to start testing the waters. And but it's kind of, I think we've reached this crossroads so many times with Cena. I think we've said this on lots of commentaries, is where does he go from this kind of title? If he loses another one, where does he go?
I'll tell you where he goes. What they should do with Cena, and
you're going to send him to TNA, aren't you?
That'd be awesome. But I mean, what they need to do with Cena, and this is not because I dislike John Cena. They need to seriously take him away for a period of time and just bite the bullet on the sales. Okay, money talks, but if we were talking about a product and wrestling, and watch NXT TakeOver and you'll understand what I mean. Triple H has got it completely right with that product, and that is what WWE should be aspiring to with their main show, because they're not putting enough effort in. But what they need to do with Cena is he comes out of this feud, he can feud with Rusev. He loses to Rusev. Rusev chokes him out. Yeah, that's another loss. Yeah, he goes to another feud. He loses again. He goes through a stage of losing matches. We've seen stuff like this done before, where people have been on a losing streak, and he goes away, and then he goes away, and he comes back as an aggressive, and he can come back. He doesn't have to be, a heel. He just has to be different. And they I know they've tried to work towards that in this feud, but that's not going to continue after this feud. He will be just back to squeaky clean Cena wherever he goes next. And you want to know why? It's because WWE do not play out the storylines long enough, because they worry about their shirt sales, they worry about their merchandise, and they worry about the all-important mighty dollar as opposed to the product.
I 100% agree.
And that's the problem. And that is the problem. And you could do such a great storyline with Cena, and that would make a lot of people open their eyes towards Cena. I mean, he does put on good matches. He sold that match really well at SummerSlam, and he'll do it again regardless of the result at Night of Champions. But that's the problem. It's just no consistency. Just follow it out. Keep him on a huge losing streak. He can go on forever, and then he can have that redemption coming back at WrestleMania again. It just makes a lot of sense.
It's different, and that's what it needs to be. Like you said, it needs to be different.
Yeah.
Until we get that, he's still going to get booed either way, even if he does tweak it this way. but it needs to be different. He doesn't need to completely, like you say, radically change the character, but it needs to not be the same bullshit that we have been fed as wrestling fans, because it insults us when we see the same stuff again and again and again and again and again. And that's why I'm going to stick with it. And I'm hoping that they do more stuff with Heyman still, because Heyman, as you know, said he wants to make him a Paul Heyman guy. And I'm hoping we are getting finally, but as I said, I've said this so many times that I myself don't even believe my own words coming out of my mouth. I hope they stick with it.
Yeah. So what you just said there about Paul Heyman, wanting him to be a Paul Heyman guy, how good would the scenario work? Yeah. So he's losing match after match after match. Heyman comes out, watches the match. Heyman comes out, watches the next match. Heyman comes out, watches the next match. Keeps on, maybe it's an element of distraction, but keeps on watching every match. Cena keeps slipping up. Every week Heyman keeps saying, if you were a Paul Heyman guy, you wouldn't be losing those matches, would you? Ticking away.
I don't know about you, but WWE, if you are looking for two top quality writers, you have them here. We are currently employed, but we can be bought out of our contracts for a substantial and worthwhile offer. We will consider all options, won't we, Delzinski?
Oh, accept any offer.
That's how we ended up with Bagwell.
Yeah. So I'm going with Brock Lesnar. I think. I think WWE just got to. I don't know. They've got to take a hit at some point with Cena. Just depends when they want to do it. I think they will take a hit when Triple H is in full control of that product.
So basically, you're asking for Vince McMahon to unfortunately pass away at some point, because until that point, I think we all know that Vince has final say.
He always does, but he doesn't have any say over NXT. So go look at NXT.
Maybe they should just like sedate him and keep him like bedbound for ages. And Triple H, he needs more morphine. Yeah, just kick it in. He's fine. Go on, give him some more. He's fine. Yeah, Vince hasn't turned up for TV again. Yeah, he's fine. Give him more morphine.
It's a commentary for another.
Come back. The whole attitude here is in full force again.
It's a commentary for another time, but a lot of people have been tweeting it, saying that Vince is so distant from what the people want and what the people want to see in this day and age. And I do think that they're right. Some of the gimmicks,
it's 1990 again.
Yeah, some of the gimmicks that he comes out with, and it's, it's all over. You don't always believe the internet, but it's usually, that was one of Vince's choices, that was one of Vince's ones. And you just think, Vince, man, come on, listen to Triple H a little bit more. And yeah, Triple H might not always get it right, but as I say, NXT TakeOver is his baby, and I was blown away by that. So Night of Champions. Night of Champions got a big one. Night of Champions got a big thing to live up to. So
I think we've covered the whole card, haven't we? So both going with a Lesnar win.
Yeah. So we only disagreed on? Was it 2 or 3 in the end? I think
we disagreed on the Divas. And did we disagree on Rusev, or did we both have Rusev?
Yeah, we did both have Rusev. It was Jericho and Orton that we disagreed.
I've gone Jericho.
Obviously.
We shall see, and I'm sure we'll be reviewing it in full next week, won't we?
We will, and guys, just to let you know, I am going to be watching this pay-per-view live, so, follow me on Twitter at Delzinski, and you'll be able to keep up with me during the pay-per-view. It's always good to interact with each and every one of you, so make sure you do drop me a few tweets and follow me, and it'll be a good night of wrestling. And let me know, and let Weeds know via the comments box below, who you think is going to win each of these matches. Give me your predictions in the comments box below. Give Weeds your predictions. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Weeds on some of the matches? It would be great to hear from you guys. Got anything to add, Weeds?
No, I'm just going to go and catch NXT, because I haven't actually seen this yet. Obviously, not having the WWE Network. So that's what I'm going to be doing until I watch Night of Champions at the weekend. And see you next week, guys.
Yes, see you next week. Guys, one other thing I forgot to mention is make sure you go and check out my Night of Champions simulation matches. I'm going to tell you now, those matches were awesome, and I'm sure you will enjoy them. So yeah, there is a full playlist, and all the matches will be up before the pay-per-view, so make sure you check those out. They are not the predictions that we have made tonight. All right, guys. Yep, as per usual, please rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Delzinski and Weeds for a Night of Champions special. We Talk, sign in, out.